The Milwaukee Bucks are actually going to do it. The pressure is on for Doc Rivers to make a key change to the starting lineup as fans have made their wishes known and one starter's job should be in jeopardy. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Nathan Burton, here on Bucks Digest, your number one source on YouTube for all things Bucks. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm going to get right into things. So we're going to talk, of course, about Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma came over in a trade. We traded Chris Middleton away to the Washington Wizards last year. He was expected to be a force for the team. He's younger, supposedly more athletic, and things did not work out in Milwaukee in the first half year he played there. Fans are now calling for a possible change to the starting lineup. We're going to talk about what Kyle Kuzma needs to do to keep his job, which guys are on his heels, and why fans are not happy with Kuzma's performance so far. But before I get into that, I do want to mention to everybody, please hit that subscribe button. You guys have been running this up for myself and Nick all season, and we really appreciate it. Please continue to do so. So let's talk about Kyle Kuzma. He had a lot of Bucks fans doing a lot of this over the course of last season, scratching their head and wondering what the heck is he doing out there. His defensive rating was way worse than we expected it to be. His abilities on offense did not show up. Fans were not happy. And worst of all, he disappeared when we needed him the most at playoff time. So it's no surprise that fans are now calling for a change. Eric Nehm of The Athletic interviewed a bunch of Bucks fans. These were a poll sent out to registered Bucks fans, and this is the starting lineup that they came up with when polled. Kevin Porter Jr. at the point guard, Gary Trent Jr. at shooting guard, AJ Green at the small forward, and of course Giannis at the 4 and Miles Turner at the 5. We've talked extensively on the channel about those top 3 positions: point guard, shooting guard, small forward. There's a lot of different combinations and a lot of different guys on this roster, and nothing is in stone besides the 2 big men. But today we're going to talk specifically about the small forward spot. Now, in this poll, AJ Green won out this poll with over 57% of the vote to be the starting small forward. Kuzma was second, and then Taurean Prince in third. It's also worth noting that AJ Green came second in shooting guard voting in the poll, so it's clear that Bucks fans are trying to find a way to get this guy on the floor, and they like AJ Green. So why are the fans upset with Kyle Kuzma? I mean, if you're a Bucks fan and you watched any Kyle Kuzma Bucks games over the last half a season, then you probably don't need me to do this rundown, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to let you guys know why Kyle Kuzma is in Bucks fans' doghouse big time. So his stats on paper don't jump out as too bad, right? 14.8 points, 5.7 rebounds, not bad for a small forward. Not much assists there, but the field goals, the efficiency could be better. 100th percentile, 43.6%. But when you dig a bit deeper, one of the things that we wanted him to be able to do for the team was 3-point shooting, and he shot a disastrous 31% from 3 last year, which is just not good. We know we're trying to play around Giannis. He draws all the gravity. We need shooters, and this guy is getting paid too much money to be shooting at that awful clip. Now, let me talk about some of the, advanced statistics that, will kind of highlight why Kyle Kuzma is again in the Bucks fans' doghouse. Minus 13.1 net rating with the Bucks. That means they're much better with Kyle Kuzma off the floor. He also had a player efficiency rating of 11. The league average is 15, and this guy's getting paid way too much money to be even average. He should be over 15, and he's, as you can see, at 11. His box plus minus was the 3rd worst in the entire NBA among qualified players at minus 5.4. And he actually had a negative win share. So this guy's just not affecting winning the way that you need a player to do if they're making this much money. So what are the Bucks to do next? I mean, there's a few other reasons why Bucks fans, would be upset with Kyle Kuzma. I mean, the fact that he was traded for a franchise legend, a former champion, and a beloved player in Milwaukee may have something to do with it. I think it's also because maybe because of this playoff game right here. If you guys remember in game 1 against the Pacers last year, he put up donuts across the board in 21 minutes. He also was a minus 24 in this game. That game did nothing to endear Kyle Kuzma to Bucks fans, that's for sure. I think it might just have something to do with the fact that he dresses like a dweeb. Like, this is crazy. I mean, it comes off as pretty weird. I think Kuzma comes off as a weird, egotistical kind of guy and is starting to rub some Bucks fans the wrong way. But let's not split hairs about it. We know the real reason people are upset with Kyle Kuzma, and that's his contract. If Kyle Kuzma was having these struggles and putting up these numbers and making a lot less money, it would probably not be so much of a talking point or a thorn in Bucks fans' side. But you can see here he's making $22 million this year, $20 million the year after before he becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2027, 2028. So if you're going to, carry this much money on the books for the Bucks, then you need to be able to show up and play, and he just has not been able to do that for them. So it's no surprise that fans are calling for AJ Green to get a starting role and more minutes and more opportunity. AJ Green is loved by the fans here for his three-point shooting. His three-point shooting is lights out. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. And of course, we would think that Kyle Kuzma would be an improvement defensively over AJ Green. That's always been the knock when you're talking about these two guys. But it's clear looking at the underlying numbers that that's not the case. AJ Green, not an elite defender by any means. But if Kyle Kuzma is not going to play better defense out there, then his starting position may be in jeopardy. I just talked about AJ Green's shooting. There was an article from Sports Illustrated. They were talking about the 10 best shooters in the league, and AJ Green did fall onto that list at number 8. He shot 42.7% from 3 last year. It says right here in this article that if AJ Green is on the floor, then he is putting up threes. He shot 44.5% on spot-up threes in particular, which is a lot of the looks you're going to get playing with Giannis. So, the other thing, I spoke about the contract for Kyle Kuzma. I'm just going to show you guys AJ Green's contract right here. AJ Green's contract is much better. You can see he's only making $2.3 million this year. That's basically $20 million less than Kyle Kuzma. For the drop-off, if there is any, to be so small, and that cap hit is so different, you can see why Bucks fans are a little concerned. So John Horst and Doc Rivers, they have some decisions to make around this starting lineup. Of course, ownership doesn't make starting role positions decisions just based on fan input, but it's clear that the fans know what they want. Now, it's worth stating that apparently John Horst hasn't completely lost faith in Kyle Kuzma. Of course, maybe some of what he's saying here it's his job to say, you know what I mean? But he said he's a guy we believe in having continuity with a good team and a full offseason with a good team, which he hasn't had in a while, so we're excited for him. So it's pretty clear from that quote to me that John Horst is, at least for the time being, looking at Kyle Kuzma as a starter. But again, some of this I think is just what he has to say as the Bucks leader. He can't throw a player under the bus like the fans can. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you want to see AJ Green in the starting lineup over Kyle Kuzma? Is there other guys on the roster you think that should start at the 1, at the 2 or the 3, or the 1 for that matter? If you disagree with the fans polled and the starting lineup posted, leave your starting lineup down below and let us know what you think. We'll be back soon on Bucks Digest. Go Bucks go.